You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments below, and be sure to smash that like button.
All right, LSU was back on the practice field for day 2 of fall camp. This one was a little bit different. Day 1, the media, got to watch the full practice. Day 2, they allotted us 15 minutes. I'm not complaining. I am very grateful for every bit of access they give us. So today we got to watch 15 minutes. I have a full practice report up at louisianasports.net if you prefer to read it and see my notes there. It's up on the homepage at louisianasports.net, always free. Just a little bit, let me give you a little bit of a background of how the day was shaped for what we got to see, and then I'll kind of go through a little play-by-play and the standouts and the notables. So we got 15 minutes. They were indoors. Again, just helmets, so no shoulder pads, no padded pants, so just helmets. The 15 minutes we got to see were all indoors. As Brian Kelly mentioned, meeting with the media on Wednesday, they are going to acclimatize their team. So they'll start indoors and then move outdoors and then progressively move to where more of the workout is outdoors. They started the first day with 12 periods. Then they were going to go to 16 and 18 and 20 as they continue to increase. As Brian Kelly mentioned, their research shows, their data shows, the first 7 days is the highest propensity for soft tissue injuries. So they want to make sure that the team is acclimatized, and so they're taking it slowly as they ramp up. Totally fine with that. The most notable or newsworthy item today is that Aaron Anderson was not there. We did not get word as to why. He was there the entire practice that we saw on Wednesday. So hopefully it's nothing really to be considered at all. We all know what Aaron Anderson can do on a football field, but he was not there at practice during the media viewing portion, so maybe he showed up later, maybe not. Maybe it was an excused absence. I have no more information other than he was not there today for the 15 minutes we got to watch. It was Berrien Brown who replaced him, however, with the ones. So the first team receivers were Chris Hilton, Xavier Thomas, Berrien Brown. Those were the first 3 receivers with Chris Hilton out. With Aaron Anderson out. It was interesting because when Brian Kelly was talking about the receiver depth, as he was talking about, he was asked on Wednesday about the ability to take the top off of defense. And he mentioned Hilton and Berrien Brown as receivers that were going to be able to get over the top of a lot of teams. Well, Chris Hilton was there. It was Anderson who was out, and still with Anderson out, it was Brown who replaced Anderson. So I think all that I'm reading between the lines here, but I'm just assuming with that, what that tells me is, look, you may have 7, 6, 7, 8 receivers who can all play any of the positions, the X, the Y, the Z. It's just a matter of getting the guys on the field that you want at the right time, in any event. So that was the most notable thing. I will tell you how the play-by-play went when we got to see the first, second, and third team offense. I'll run through that because I charted every play. We'll get to that in a second. When we walked in, we got to see 3 periods. The first 2 periods were dedicated to special teams. And so we got to watch the field goal PAT, which of note here is, of course, Damian Ramos is back, but you have a new holder. Last year, Peyton Todd was the holder. And Brian Kelly, remember, there were a couple of viral moments of Brian Kelly getting in Peyton Todd's ear because it was all about the operation, getting in there, getting the snap, the hold, the placement, the whole operation down. And that was a problem at times last year. Well, Jonathan Ferguson, long snapper, Grant Chadwick, the Middle Tennessee transfer punter, is the new holder. Ramos is the place kicker. Ramos did misfire from 28 and 48, but he nailed a 44-yarder. Aaron Burrell, the kick of the day, Burrell hit from 48 that hit the top of the net. And if you've never been at the LSU indoor, the uprights are almost against the back wall. There's not a lot of space from the uprights in the back wall, but they have a net so the ball doesn't just bang off the wall. The 48-yarder that Burrell hit was at the top of the net. He has a massive leg. And Damian Ramos, I'm not starting anything here. Damian Ramos is your place kicker. But Burrell will likely handle kickoffs again this year. And next year, when Burrell takes over the place kicking duties full time, I mean, he's going to be the guy with massive NFL potential if he just figures out accuracy and all that stuff. It's just consistency. But the physical talent, the ability, the leg talent is there with Aaron Burrell, which was awesome to see. When they went to the offensive period, it was a first, second, third team offense running hurry up, no huddle against air. So it was like a 2-minute offense, no defense on the field. So you would think, obviously, this would just be a pretty fluid sequence. And it was for the first team. There were some issues for the second and third team we'll get to here in a second. More than anything, I think what's important about this, because, again, you're not playing against air. You're not playing against defense. You're playing against air. What is notable to me, anyway, is the play sequence. Who is getting the ball? What types of plays they're running? And this was the first team sequence. Nussmeier threw a screen pass to Bauer Sharp, which yesterday, when they were running the 2-minute offense against the defense, they threw a middle screen to Bauer Sharp. So, screen to Bauer Sharp, zone read, carry by Caden Durham. The third play was a 35-yard touchdown pass to Xavier Thomas, where Nussmeier floated one down the left sideline. Thomas ran right under it. Boom, touchdown, beautiful pitch and catch. The next play, as they backed the ball up, Bauer Sharp on a 15-yard reception on an out route. He was on the left side of the formation, ran 15 yards out toward the sideline. Nuss hit him perfectly. Then they ran a quick slant to Berrien Brown, slant on the right side, slant toward the middle of the field for a touchdown. And then they lined up around the 10-yard line. Chris Hilton, who was lined up on the left, motioned to be attached to the line of scrimmage, and then they ran a little bubble screen or a little screen pass to Chris Hilton, who turned it up and got into the end zone. So very fluid for the first team offense. The same wasn't exactly true for the second team. It was odd because Juwan Johnson took the first rep with the second team. Now, do not read into this at all. It might have just been that Michael Van Buren was tying his shoe. I don't know. But Juwan Johnson went in, took the first rep, handed off to Caleb Jackson, and then Michael Van Buren went right in. And Michael Van Buren's first pass was a 35-yard touchdown to Jelani Watkins, who, of course, is really fast. Destin Hill caught a reception on a quick slant on the next pass. Again, Destin Hill is going to play. I'll continue to repeat it. They continue to feature him. He's going to play. The concern was the next pass where Van Buren overthrew Kyle Parker, who was coming on a crossing route. Again, there's no pass rush, and there's no defensive secondary to cover. You just have to hit your receivers in stride, and Van Buren overthrew Kyle Parker in the middle of the field. That's a problem. And then the final play for the second teamers was a run by Caleb Jackson on his own read. The third group goes out there. Colin Hurley's at quarterback. First play, they throw a tight end screen to Donovan Green. Again, they're throwing the ball to the tight ends. They're getting the tight ends involved. The tight ends are going to catch a lot of passes. Then Philip Wright caught a pass over the middle. The third play, Hurley looked deep, then checked down to Philip Wright. So back-to-back receptions by Philip Wright, the freshman from Destrehan. Hurley threw wide to Nick Anderson, who was coming on a crossing route. Nick Anderson's 6'4", y'all. He's 6'4", 208. Again, no pass rush, no hands in your face, no secondary guarding these receivers. You got to be able to throw accurate and on time, and both Van Buren and Hurley missed open receivers. Well, of course they were open. There's no defense. And Anderson is 6'4". You can't miss that dude. Teron Francis had a catch on a quick slant, and then the final play for the third team was a zone read to Harlem Berry. So the first offense was fluid. A little bit of problem with some of the misfires with the second and the third group. So we'll see how all that transpires as it continues to move. Again, I'm not making too much out of any of this. They're not in pads yet. In that sequence, there was no defense. It's more you want to make sure that you're just fluid in the operation. A couple of the misfires by the backups was a little concerning. The defense during that time in the practice, was doing a 4-circuit drill where you had 10 defenders in a group, and then there were 4 different defensive units or stations. One was dedicated to blitzing. One was tackling the dummy to the ground on the pad. The third was sort of a pursuit drill where you're taking an angle. And then the fourth was, you hit, wrap up, and drive up. So it was just defense doing individual drills. We just didn't see really anything from the defense that would be notable. So the only real thing of note there, Aaron Anderson absent. Couple of misfires by Damian Ramos, big 48-yard field goal by Aaron Burrell, and then a couple of drops, or I shouldn't say drops, a couple of misfires by the second and third team quarterbacks. But Tigers are back on the practice field on Friday with no media availability. Then they practice again Saturday morning, and we get to watch the full practice. So make sure If you will, I'll have a podcast, a Locked On LSU podcast on Saturday afternoon. As soon as that practice goes final, we'll let you know what we see. So make sure you subscribe there, and we'll have plenty to talk about. We're back here on Monday.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.